What is going on, everybody? We have Monday Night Football tonight between the Vikings and the Bears. In this video, I'll be running through some of my top plays for today, and we're just going to do a full deep dive using Outlier.bet. This is the website that I use for all of my research every day. If you want a free trial for it, there's a link located in the description below. Apologies, I didn't come out with a video for Sunday, the full Sunday slate for you guys. I got a little tied up with a few things. As a lot of you know, I just moved last week, so you know it's a bit of a pain moving into a new place. But I'll be better moving forward for you all, and I'll definitely have a video out for Thursday Night Football, for the full Sunday slate, and then Monday Night Football next week as well. I'm excited for the game tonight. It's going to be a pretty good one between the Bears and the Vikings. Ben Johnson's first game with the Bears. Really curious to see how their offense is going to hold up with this new system. Caleb Williams last year, hit or miss. Mostly miss. He had a pretty rough rookie season. I personally don't really think he's the real deal. I know a lot of the NFL scouts were really high on him, but me personally, I didn't like what I saw at USC. It kind of showed last year too that he wasn't that special, but he does try to make some flashy plays. He's kind of like a wannabe Mahomes and does a little bit too much sometimes. But anyways, let's jump into the plays here. I'm going to be going through a couple of my top bets for the game tonight, and then I'm also going to do something different and run down the outlier insights just so we can take a look at some of those as well. Full disclosure here, though, I am actually on the Bears money line tonight. I got a decent number on it at like plus 125 or plus 130. Can't remember what exactly was. I bet it last Wednesday, but I had a pretty solid week on the straight bets with the spreads, 4 wins and 2 losses. As for the player props, I had a rough Sunday. I don't think I made, I have one slip that's alive going into this morning where I need one of these plays to hit. But I lost a few of my slips yesterday after starting off really hot on Thursday and Friday. For my posted record, where I do my write-ups and everything, 2 wins, 2 losses so far. But I have 3 plays tonight that I'm going to be touching on here in this video. So let's just jump right to the first one. We're going with Aaron Jones, over 11.5 first quarter rushing yards. I was on this basically every single game last season. The Vikings added Jordan Mason in the offseason, so it does change the role just a little bit for Aaron Jones. He's not going to be the full bell cow that he got last year. However, I do think in the first quarter, he is going to get the bulk of the carries. He went over this number in 15 out of 18 games last season, and he absolutely destroyed this number, averaging 25.1 yards per first quarter in all these games last year. We made so much money on this last year. I kind of just have to go back to it this year, even though the matchup is okay. And obviously Jordan Mason's in there, but I'm just going to keep riding this trend from last year because there's really not a lot of data to work off of for this year just yet. Next week, we can start getting into some of the defensive trends and things like that. One more prop that I'm going to be on for Aaron Jones tonight, though, is over 12 rushing attempts. It's showing 12.5 on the screen. I got 12 over on PrizePicks. It might have moved by now. I'm not fully sure. But anyway, over 12 rushing attempts. He went over this number in 13 out of 18 games last year. Filter for the away games, it was 7 out of 8 away games with 10 plus in every single game, 14 plus in those 7 wins too. So I'd say 13 or 14 rush attempts is pretty safe, especially if they do come out with an early lead or if they do pound the rock super early on in this game. I don't know. I think this over 12.5 is just a little bit too low, or over 12 for Aaron Jones here. The next play, Caleb Williams, under 0.5 interceptions. This one actually kind of scares me a bit, but I'm going to ride it anyways. So the Ben Johnson offense is a very pass-heavy offense, so I do think he's going to drop back a lot more. He's not going to be in the shotgun as much. It's going to be a lot of really quick passes, just like the Lions offense was last year. A lot of underneath stuff, a lot of drags, a lot of screens, and then occasionally a few deep bombs here and there as well. But Caleb only threw an interception in 4 out of 17 games last year. He played the Vikings twice, did not throw an interception in either game, even though the Vikings had the most interceptions in the league last year. So I think Caleb generally does a pretty good job at taking care of the ball. He does make some really reckless and careless throws occasionally, but they haven't turned to interceptions just yet in his career. So I'm going to ride this trend from last year and go with the under 0.5 interceptions on Caleb. Now, if you're looking for a place to bet this prop, you're going to have to line shop it because BetMGM has it at even money, but if you go to like Sleeper or something, you're getting it at like minus 135. So definitely line shop it. Try to find the best book for this line. I think Underdog Fantasy has the best book just out there in general for player props. It's my favorite one to use. It's my preferred one simply because I can't use DraftKings or BetMGM or Bet365 or most of these other books where I'm located. So if you don't have an account with Underdog Fantasy yet, sign up using the code Lay the House RM, and they'll give you up to $1,000 of bonus funds when you sign up using my code. So next, we're going to head over to the insights page and we're going to take a look at some of these insights on Outlier. This is something different. I don't normally do this in my videos, but I wanted to go through it and just kind of show you what you can find on Outlier for this game tonight. So if I head over to the insights tab and if I filter for tonight's game, it's going to show me a lot of props here. Failed to exceed 8.5 long reception in 4 of his last 5 games. Justin Jefferson failed to exceed 3.5 first downs in 4 of his last 5 games. Just some generic trends for you here. But what I like to do is I like to actually go over to this splits tab on the top and filter for home and away games because I love the home and away splits. It's one of my favorite things for all sports, not just football. Love it for basketball big time. Made us a lot of money. Home and away splits, then also injury situations too. But you can't do that from this screen, unfortunately. But anyways, I'm sorting by just home and away splits right now. I want to sort by hit rate at the top. You can see you can find a bunch of basically trends here in order of some of the top trends of the day. On the top here, you'll see this Aaron Jones exceeded 12.5 rushing attempts in 12 out of his last 13 games on the road. I take a trend like this with the game with a grain of salt. You still have to look at it. But 12 out of 13 games, he wasn't with the Vikings for all 13 of these games. It was only about here when he joined the Vikings. These 5 before it were when he was with the Packers. So you have to be very careful when looking at the insights over on Outlier, but they're so useful for you. I mean, you could basically find any trend and for the home and away splits for favorite underdog against a top ranked defense, bottom ranked defense. It's just a really quick way to kind of do your research if you don't have the time to go through the prop screen and click through a bunch of different props like I generally would for my specific process. But we'll go back to the insight screen, see what we could find on here. A bunch of props for Aaron Jones. Roma Dunze under 9.35 fantasy score on underdog. That might be a solid play, especially with Luther Burden in the mix. But this Ben Johnson offense, I don't know what to expect. Odunze might be the guy. Moore might be a big guy. Kmet might get involved. They have Colson Loveland, who's the rookie tight end phenom. There's a lot of mouths to feed on this Bears offense. So I'm generally staying away from the wide receivers in this one. And same thing with the Vikings, too. Justin Jefferson's obviously the guy, but with no Addison, you're pretty much stuck with just Jefferson, Naylor. Hawkinson might get some targets. Aaron Jones steals some targets too. I forgot who the other guy is, but there's one other receiver out there too that's going to steal some targets as well. But a lot of question marks going into week 1, as always. There's going to be more clarity in week 2 once we get over there. But be sure to join the Discord server. Discord's free to join. Link is in the description below. And best of luck on your bets tonight, everybody.